am pumped up for this live today. Okay, I may say so. I must say so myself. Okay, I'm so pumped up about it. Ooh, this is so good. Okay, so first off, I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. If not, do understand and get your day is going to get better once your perception gets better. Let's say that again. Let's say that two more times because it's so true. I really want you to understand this, and I want this for you. Okay, I want you to get this, and I want you to understand that you have the ability to change your whole entire existence. Okay, your whole entire existence. And what do I mean when I say that? Okay, now let's get back to what I said. Your day is going to get better once your perception gets better. Your day is going to get better once your perception gets better. Let's say it two more times. Your day is going to get better once your perception gets better, honey. Your day is going to get better once your perception gets better. Your day is going to get better once your perception gets better. I know I said only two more times, but it sounds so good and it feels so good to know that you are the creator of your reality. Honey, I just needed to keep on going. Okay. So listen, today live video, such a phenomenal, it's going to be such an amazing video. Okay. So amazing. Let me just turn this light on. Okay. 1 second. Honey, because I need you to see me. Okay. I really need you to see me. So listen, it's so funny how the universe works, right? And earlier today, I knew I needed to go get a notebook. Okay, I am in Peach McIntyre's, who is a content creator. I am in her mindset class, and today is the last day for the mindset class. The class, it was, to say the least, it was such a phenomenal class. It was so many Jews. It was supportive. It was just outright well worth it. And at the end, it was $10. I paid $10 for 5 days. Okay, because it was towards the ending of the class. But being around like-minded individuals, that is like really, really important. All the mastermind groups that I have been in, I started off with Think and Grow Rich. It was a mastermind group that I was a part of. And, when you join in a mastermind group, right, you want to be around people that, I don't want to say like, you want to be around a group that is in harmony with you. That's one. And then two, also, you want to be around mastermind groups. And the reason being is because, it'll keep you focused on your desires and the energy and everything. Hey, Mary, peace to you, baby, peace to you, peace to you. The energy and everything that you around, right? You come up with ideas. It's just a phenomenal thing. So if you could get into a mastermind group, it is really, really essential. It is really, really good. So I wanted to talk about this today, and I got two books to share with you guys today, two different books, okay? And the reason I put in this title is not about the book, because I really want you to get there, okay? It's not about the book. But what I was talking about, which book I was talking about, was The Notebook, okay? It was The Notebook. So this morning, I gotta edit another darn video. I forgot about that video. But anyway, so this morning, so this is pretty much like my goals and stuff like that. The group that I'm in, the mastermind group that I'm in with Peach McIntyre, right? Is a mindset group, right? In that group, okay, is a book that we're reading. In the book that we're reading, it talks about every day you should write your goals down, okay? So this morning, now I have notebooks. I'm always buying notebooks. My notebooks tend to fill up really, really quick. I normally get my notebooks either from TJ Maxx, mainly from TJ Maxx. I love TJ Maxx notebooks because they always have sayings on them. And the notebooks, they look really, really good. Okay, so I love getting my notebooks from TJ Maxx. So this morning, when I woke up, it's so funny when you start thinking and you start doing, like actually start doing, like you come up with all these ideas, right? One of the things that I know, I said I had wrote a goal, like my goals down for me to be monetized on YouTube, right? And I had wrote down like the amount of videos that I need to do. And I remember when I wrote those videos down, I was like, oh my goodness, like the ideas, right? And once upon a time, I said, like, I'll always come up with ideas, right? Is like a plethora, if that's the word, right, of ideas. I always have all these ideas that's going on in my mind, right, as though I could create content. And when I thought about the number of videos that I needed to do, like 179 or something videos, I was like, oh my goodness, like where's all those ideas gonna come from? But the phenomenal thing about source, okay, universe, source, God, Allah, honey, you can't get wet from saying water, okay? The phenomenal thing about it is this. When you get started, okay, when you do one thing, the next idea will come. So that's why I always tell you guys, you don't need to know exactly the whole transcript of, I'm gonna change my life, but what do I start with? Okay, I gotta have like 5 different things. No, you just decide. It's just a decision. I'm gonna change my life. Okay, and from you putting that decision and getting emotionally involved with the decision, all right, like, oh well, I want to live a better life, and you start visualizing, right? It could be weight loss, it could be your income going up. You start visualizing, you start getting emotional. When I get emotional, I tend to cry, okay, at times, or I'm smiling really really hard, okay. But when you get emotional, you be surprised how things just come together, how the universe or God just bring everything together. And in a way where as though you like, oh my goodness, you start, it's almost like, and I said this before, The Alchemist, right? Well, Pablo Coelho, one of the things he said in the book was, when you follow your heart. Now, it's either Ralph Smart or The Alchemist, okay? When you follow your heart, the universe will conspire to work in your favor. And it is so true. It's so, so true, okay? The reason why I say it's not about the book, okay? We're going to jump into this, too. If you don't do... Some people say they want to be successful, right? But if you don't do what the successful people is recommending you to do, chances of you being successful is very slim to none, okay? It wasn't so much about me buying a book. So this morning, I may be jumping, right? But this morning, when I had got up, I was finna walk my children to school. I had my youngest son, who is 8 years old. I had his headphones. I couldn't find my headphones. I don't know where I put them at, but whatever. Okay. So, I had his headphones, and I guess because I was rushing, the headphones, they done broke. Okay. So I said, God darn, like these headphones, how the heck did they break? I couldn't even, I said, I don't even know how they broke. So at first I'm like, oh, I got to go to Dollar Tree, right? I got to go to Dollar Tree, get me some headphones. I don't care how much money I make. Okay. I think, and I know most likely I still be going to Dollar Tree to get some cheap headphones. Okay. Because I never been the type far as like technology, like, oh, the latest phone, the latest headphones and things of that nature. And to me, I just get the headphones. That's it. Okay. If they work, they play, I'm okay with it. Right. And so it's funny how the universe will do certain things where as though it's like, all right, now you definitely got to go. So remember what I said. Now I have notebooks, right? And I have notebooks where as though they have like a few pages left in them. And one of the things that the book I've been reading, right? No Excuses. In a book by Brian Tracy, 1 second, family. In a book, one of the things Brian Tracy says is get you a notebook, a brand new spiral notebook, right? So here I was like, oh, well, I could use the notebooks I have or whatever it is. And because of those headphones breaking this morning, okay, let me tell you the phenomenal thing about what happened. The headphones then broke this morning, okay? When they broke, I knew I needed to go to get some new headphones because tomorrow I'm doing a vlog at Whole Foods. So either Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. So I needed to get some new headphones, right? But not only that, I needed to get a new notebook, right? And one of the things I remember hearing Kevin Tredone say this, okay? And Kevin Tredone was a part of the Brotherhood. All right. You may say, well, what the hell is the Brotherhood? So he was a 33 or 33rd Mason. Okay. He was part of the elite. All right. And I remember listening to his audio, and it's called Your Wish is Your Command, right? Such a phenomenal audio. He speaks about the same exact thing Abraham Hicks talks about, the same exact thing that Napoleon Hill talks about. So the secrets that the elite used to, they would keep amongst themselves. And that is basically, you are the creator of your reality, and you create based upon the energy, right? Like in order for you to create the things that you desire, you have to be on a certain frequency, because the things that you desire is on a certain frequency. And so if you say you want success, right, you have to be on a certain frequency, right? And so I was, listening to, I remember Kevin Trudeau said, he said, and also Jim Rohn, okay, phenomenal mentor. Okay, now I didn't know Jim Rohn personally, okay, but I know Jim Rohn from YouTube. Okay, I know Jim Rohn from YouTube University, right? And so I remember listening to Jim Rohn, and one of the things Jim Rohn said was, he said, if you don't chances are, if you don't do one thing, right, if you don't go by the book, chances are you're not going to write your goals down. And chances are, if you're not going to write your goals down, then chances are you don't even know where you are in life. And so if you don't know where you are in life, how can you hit a target that you cannot see? In the words of Zig Ziglar, okay? How can you hit a target that you cannot see? Okay, you got to be able to see the target, see where you going, right? And so I thought about that today, and I didn't have headphones and stuff like that, and I said, you know what, ain't no goddamn headphones gonna stop me. Okay, all right, I ain't got the headphones, but I'm gonna go on Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna get these headphones, and while I'm at it, I'm gonna get my Spiral notebook that Brian Tracy recommended to get. Okay, and so this is the difference between the successful people and the non-successful people. Okay, success, in the words of Kevin Trudeau, success is a decision away. It's just a decision away. And so I could have said, you know what? Well, I'm not getting a notebook today. Okay, I'm not gonna get there. But from me deciding, right, like, all right, I'm going to get the notebook, okay? And I'm going to write down my goals and, my desires and everything like that. And I'm going to go get those headphones. And while I'm even in there, honey, I could even do a Dollar Tree haul, okay? So from that one decision, right? Me going to Dollar Tree, getting a notebook, then the headphones. Then I'm like, oh, I could do a vlog, okay? And when I came home, guess what? Then I got in a creative state. And that is the thing. When you get started, you're going to have so many ideas. But if you don't listen to that one step that your intuition is telling you to do, chances are you're not going to listen to nothing. Okay, and so I'm gonna read this to you guys. Okay, this book is listen. Okay, now this book, never mind how it looks on the outside. That don't worry about that. Okay, let's worry about what's in the inside. Okay, this book is called Do the Work by Steven Pressfield. Okay, this book is a phenomenal read. Okay, I remember when I first started reading this book, and my nephew, he had came over to my house. And he had borrowed this book. And I remember when I was telling him, like, I would be doing this, doing that, challenging myself and stuff like that, facing myself. So just so I could start breaking the paradigm. Okay. And the paradigm is a multitude of habits. Okay. And so one of the things that it says in this book, it says, the opposite of resistance. When I seen this, I said, "Oh my goodness, this is so good." I just picked up the book, went in the closet, picked up the book, opened it up, and here it was, booyah. Okay, it says, "I said a few chapters ago that the universe is not indifferent. It is actively hostile. This is true. But behind every law of nature stands an equal and opposite law. The universe is also actively benevolent. You should be feeling this now. You should be feeling a tailwind. The opposite of resistance is assistance. Okay, come on now. You gonna be getting assistance. Okay, all right. A work in progress generates its own energy field. You, the artist or entrepreneur, are pouring love into the work. Okay, you are suffusing it with passion, intention, and hope. Okay, all right. You can't tell in this video that I'm doing right now. Okay, that I'm pouring some passion, intention, and love in here. Okay, if you can't, you must be blind or something. I don't know. Okay, this is serious juju. The universe responds to this. It has no choice. This page right here puts me in the mind of the alchemist, okay? About how Pablo Coelho said that the universe will conspire to work in your favor. You heard what it just said, okay? This is serious juju. The universe responds to this. It has no choice. Okay, when you rocking out to your goals, oh God! All right, let me just finish this because I'm getting so excited. Okay, could you tell I'm so excited? All right, your work in progress produces its own gravitational field created by your will and your attention. This field attracts like-spirited entities into its orbit. What entities? Okay, let's talk about the entities, okay? Let's talk about the entities. All right, again, Do the Work, okay, by Stephen Pressfield. You started with a few scraps of a song. This is how dope the universe is. Didn't I tell you you don't need a whole list. You thinking you going about life and you're like, well, I need to know all the steps. Let me tell you something about the unknown, okay? When you step into the unknown, you cannot control it, okay? Because it's unknown, right? Now, if you know exactly every step of your life, exactly what it's going to be, what you doing, how you doing it, who's showing up and everything like that, that means you are living in your goddamn comfort zone. Okay, you living in your comfort zone. Okay, because if you're not living in your comfort zone, right, you're challenging yourself. You're facing yourself. You looking at yourself and you saying, you know what? I don't know how things going to turn out, okay? But I know things are going to work out in my favor. All right. And you step into the unknown. You do something that, it may scare you a little bit, but guess what? You still do it. You know why? Because you know you have the ability and you are capable of doing, being, and having. Okay, something different, something that you truly, truly desire, something that you wake up and enjoy each and every day. It is your power. You can do so. Okay, so let's finish. You started with a few scraps of a song. Now you got half an opera. You begin with the crazy notion to restore a neglected park. Now the lot is cleared, and you've got volunteers tweeting and phoning at all hours. Your will and vision initiated the process. Your will and your vision. Okay, what I say? Your will and your vision. All right, and I'm gonna give you guys a story about that. Okay, but now the process has acquired a life and momentum of its own. The unindifferent universe has stopped and to counter resistance. It has introduced a positive opposing force. Assistance is the universal, immutable force of creative manifestation, whose role since the Big Bang has been to translate potential into being, to convert dreams, convert dreams into goddamn reality. Okay? All right? And so, I'm just thinking about Pablo Coelho, okay, the book The Alchemist, because this really states the same exact thing, that once you get started, okay, it's almost like you become untouchable. You get what I'm saying? Like when you rocking out to your goals, like when you rocking out to the thing that you was created to do, your passion, and you following your heart, right? It sets up a different energy. Like it sets up something completely different. It's like you become untouchable because it's like you following your heart. It's like, you're a little afraid, but you still rocking out to your passion, right? Because your passion is calling you. right? You enjoy what you do. And so everything comes together collectively to work in your favor. People from all over, it doesn't matter. Somebody could be in goddamn Japan, okay? People from all over will start coming to assist you. And the reason being is energy, because of energy. There's no there's no time in space. There's no time, there's no distance or anything like that. Only thing it is energy, magnetic energy, okay? Energy, vibration, frequency. And so when you get started, some people, they stop themselves because they can't see the whole unraveling of the manifestation. They can't see the whole picture. Some people even go as far as not even opening up a business because they can't see the whole steps. They can't see, all right, well, I open up the business and then what? Like they always looking for the whole entire blueprint. But that's not necessarily has success, how success works out, because you have to get started. And you're going to be surprised where the money and everything start coming in from. But if you don't get started, you will never know. If you don't get started, you will never know. And brings me to this, okay, paradigms. Okay, this was another book that Bob Proctor had recommended when I listened to his tapes and audios. Honey, when I was listening to him on YouTube, okay. And it's called Paradigm by Joe Arthur Barker. Okay, the business of discovering the future. Okay, paradigms. And paradigms is pretty much a multitude of habits, right? And I've been talking about this lately because if you want to change any form of your life, you have to change your paradigm. And the paradigm is the thoughts that's in the subconscious mind that you tend to do on autopilot. You wake up the same. Okay. I remember hearing Bob Proctor say, you put your left foot, no, your right, I think it's the right foot. You put your right foot in your pants every morning. Like it's clockwork. It's like you do the same exact thing. Right. And it's not until you start doing something different will you receive something different. Another thing I had heard Kevin Tredone say, he said you have to interrupt your routine. If you want to change your life, you have to interrupt your routine because your routine is the cause of you constantly getting the same exact thing. Right. And it doesn't have to be something so so big or whatever. I was honey finna say the big words, okay? But it doesn't have to be something so big or anything like that. It could be something so small. You could do something so small. For instance, right? Say you need to clean your closet. You don't have to clean a whole entire closet. You could clean one section of the closet, right? To declutter. And so whenever you get started, it's not about you having everything figured out. It's not about you saying, well, you know what, I got to have X, Y, and Z. I have to have all the answers in order for me to do the thing that I know I need to do. It's about you just making one decision. And that's why they say success is a decision away. Success is a decision away. So it's never about going to get the notebook or going to buy the book. Right? It's never about the destination. It's never about the destination. Like, all right, I got the book, that's it. No. It's like a domino effect. All right, you got the book. Now we read the book. Okay? Not only now do we read the book, after we read the book, okay, and we have understanding, guess what? Or we read the book and the book suggests something, and now we apply it to our lives. Like the book No Excuses by Brian Tracy. One of the things he says is go get a spiral notebook. I remember I did videos on here, okay, a few times. And I told you guys, I said, go get a notebook and write down your desires. I don't know how many people went and brought the notebook. But the truth of the matter is it doesn't matter how many people brought the notebook. You know if you brought the notebook or not. And if you didn't buy the notebook, right, chances are you're not going to do the next step. And the reason you're not going to do the next step because you may be one of the people that says, "Well, that don't even make sense. I'm not gonna buy no notebook. I'm gonna write it in my phone, or I'm gonna put it somewhere else." But when you write it down, it does something. When you write it, when you write the stuff down. So when you go get the notebook, it's not only about you going to get the notebook, it's also about you writing down your goals. Because if you don't go get the notebook, you're not gonna write down your goals. You're just not gonna do it. I told you guys the other day I was listening to Kevin Tredone, and it was a word that he mentioned. I can't think exactly of the word, but I remember I just got off the train and I had these two bags, okay, and these bags they was pretty heavy, okay. And I remember listening to Kevin Tredone, and he said this word, and he said, "Stop the tape and look up the word." And I was like, I looked up the word before, right? And I'm like, but I forgot the damn meaning of the word, right? And he said, "Stop the tape and look up the word." And part of me was like, well, I looked up their word before, and a part of, I got these bags and I don't want to put these goddamn bags down. Right. But then then it was a part of me. Okay. The awareness, put those bags down, look up that word. And so I put the bags down and I looked up the word, standing in the middle of the doggone sidewalk, just standing there, looking up the word. Okay. Because success is a decision away. I was going to tell you guys something else. Oh, I remember when my good friend Jude, okay, that's how I came across Kevin Tredone's material. And I remember when I first when Jude, my friend, had sent me Kevin Tredone playlist. It was like 13 or 14 different tracks, right? And each track was about an hour to 45 minutes long. And I remember Jude said, I believe it was on a Saturday, okay. And one of the things Jude said to me, he said, it's best if you could listen to these tracks within 3 days. Well, Jude sent me the track. And I started listening to Kevin Tredone, and I was finished listening to those 13 or 14 tracks by the next day. And I never forget one of the things that Kevin Tredone said while he was recording, your wish is your command. He said, "Something of you guys, you received this CD, and I believe your wishes, your command. I believe it's like from 1998 or something like that." And he said, it's best to listen to these tracks within 3 days or 2 days or something like that. I believe he said 3 days. And he said, but some of you guys not going to do it. You're gonna stop the track. You're gonna watch TV. You're gonna do basically be distracted. And he said, you wonder why you're not successful. You wonder why you're not successful. The reason why you're not successful is because you're doing everything but reading the books, but listening to the audio tapes. You're doing everything but those things. And success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. All the successful people I listen to, they recommend majority of the time the same exact books. Okay? Think and Grow Rich. Think Big. What else? The Science of Getting Rich. Ask and it is given. The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. But a lot of times the books that they recommend, and that's how you can start predicting, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be successful, right? Because you have the books that they recommend. And not only do you have them, you actually read them and then you apply them to your life. See, the way the universe set me up, it was so good. It was so good. And I'm so grateful. I have to say this again. I'm so grateful for the family that I was born into. I'm so grateful for that, because let me tell you something. By me being born into the family that I was born into, one, my grandmother, she always used to watch like educational, inspirational stuff when I was a kid. And I often say, one of the shows she always used to watch was Like It Is. And it's so fascinating. It's just so fascinating how the universe works. Because I remember I was listening to Reverend Ike. And then I was listening to Les Brown. And I remember one day I was on the phone with my mother, and I was like, oh, Ma, I'm listening to Reverend Ike, and I'm listening to, Les Brown and stuff like that. And my grandmother used to listen to Reverend Ike. I didn't know that, okay? And from my grandmother being able to listen to programs all day, right? It set something up in me where as though I'm always seeking solutions. Like I could listen to personal development all day long. And that's why my mindset is the way it is. Because I just listen to personal development, which gives me the ideas to make the videos, which gives me the ideas to challenge myself. That's all I do. That's it. Okay? It's not a secret. It's just understanding that, when you follow certain laws and when you plant certain seeds, you have no other choice but to be successful, but to succeed. Because it's the laws that you're following, not man-made laws, okay? Not man-made laws. Because these laws, they can't be changed. And once I knew that and understood that the laws in this here universe, they wasn't created by man, so therefore they can't be changed by man. That did something to me. I got excited. Cause then you know why I got excited? Because then I started thinking like, oh, it's not a such thing as favorites. You get what you get because of who you are. So then that let me understand that we all could win if we choose to do so. In the words of Earl Nightingale, one of the things he had said was, the soil, it doesn't care what type of seed you plant. And Earl Shoaff said the same exact thing, Jim Rohn mentor. It doesn't care what type of seed you plant. Whatever seed you plant, you're just going to reap the harvest. And you have to ask yourself, if you don't like anything that's showing up in your life, what seeds I've been planting? Because whatever seed you've been planting, guess what? You can always plant new seeds. You can always change at any given time. The choice is yours. It's so funny, right? Because I remember I said this yesterday. I said everything just comes together. Everything, it seems like the journey I'm on now, okay? It's like the universe is just conspiring. And you may think like, oh, you just said, no, I am literally serious about what I'm saying. Okay. Because all of it is like, so many got on going synchronicities. I have no other choice but to get excited about life. Because the universe is constantly letting me know I am on the right path by the synchronicities. I joined this class. Oh, they talk, and then I listen to Bob Proctor. He's talking about goal setting. Okay. Goal setting. So it's like the universe is always, okay, letting you know what you are producing and if you are on the right path or not. Okay. So another book, Paradigms. Okay. Chapter 2. I opened up this book and voila. Okay. The importance of anticipation. Okay. You can and should shape. Listen to this. I want you to get this. Okay, let me write this quote down. Let me write this because this is a beautiful quote and I want you to understand and get this. Okay. Phenomenal quote. Okay, phenomenal quote. So this is my new book that I went to Dollar Tree to go get. Okay, goals, no excuses. Okay, goals, no excuses. Okay, and one of the things it says in this book, Paradigms, okay, by Joe Arthur Barker, it says you can shape. No, you can and should shape your own future. But if you don't, someone else surely will. What does that mean? What does that mean? What it goddamn mean is if you don't see what you want for yourself, if you don't write down, the desires you envision for you and your family, right? And if you're not working towards those goals, those desires, you'll be working. And it's so funny because the book, No Excuses by Brian Tracy, he said the same exact thing, basically what Joe Barker says. The same exact thing. So when I tell you that everything is, it goes together hand in hand. If you're not working towards your goals and your future, then you'll be working towards someone else's goals and their futures and their dreams. I remember once upon a time when I was doing Uber, and I just had this epiphany one day, and I told my sister, I said, you know what? I want to live like the CEO of Uber. I want to be on the yachts with my family, right? Just saying, instead of making the CEO of a company dreams become true by working for them, right? How about I work for myself and work on myself and make my dreams and my desires come true. But whatever choice you decide, okay? And that's, you know, I can't say it enough. That is the most beautiful thing about life because we all have the ability to change our lives. All of us. You're not a tree, okay? You don't have to stay where you are. You could just make a decision. You want to lose weight, make a decision. But the paradigm is going to try to stop you because it's a multitude of habits. So when you say, well, I'm gonna eat healthier, right? I'm gonna eat healthier today. The paradigm is gonna try to stop you because you've been eating, so unhealthy for a while. No, I don't. I'm not gonna say no. I don't sell no ebook courses. But I do coach, okay? I do coach. And if you want, you can send me a DM on Gmail, okay? Um, but what I was saying is you can change your life at any given time. You got to decide it. You have to decide, do I want different? Like the universe is going to challenge you, right? It will challenge you, and yeah, it's going to conspire to work in your favor, but it's going to challenge you as well. I remember when I had my spiritual awakening, and I told you guys, right? I had my spiritual awakening. I was, I just was so naive and gullible, and I just thought that it was going to be like the Brady Bunch and Leave It to Beaver. Okay, I thought it was gonna be like that. Okay, I thought no problems was going to occur. I got the secret now. The secret, I could choose happiness, and happiness is a choice, and all these different things, right? And then one of the things that I started seeing was, okay, all right, you listening to a lot of personal development, but people who once shared the same exact paradigm as you, right? The multitude of habits. That's what culture is too. Multitude of habits, right? And I started, I started being excited. When you excited, I was really excited because I was like, oh my goodness, I have the ability. I could tell people, that they don't have to stay this way. I was really excited because, I was eating healthier. Okay. Showing so much gratitude just because I was getting pineapples. Okay. Because when I heard rapper B.O.B., and shout out to rapper B.O.B., okay, I was looking for his videos that he had made a few years ago. I couldn't find them, okay, on YouTube. But I remember listening to rapper B.O.B., and it was just something that, like, when you hear truth, like, you could tell if it's truth or not. And I remember listening to him, and I told you guys, I'm always seeking solutions. Like, I'm always seeking, how could I become the greatest version to myself, right? And from me trying different religions, I seen, that wasn't for me. Maybe it's for somebody else, but that wasn't for me. But I needed to go through that, and I needed to grow through that to see that it wasn't for me. And so what happened was, I'm listening to rapper B.O.B. one day. I'm in a car, me and my oldest son together, and we driving around. I like taking long distance rides. Okay, just it's very therapeutic for me. Taking long distance rides, and just being in nature and stuff like that. Is a place that I go to in New Jersey. It's called Duke Farms. Okay. It has like a trail. It's very, very gorgeous. It has a greenhouse. You could rent the bikes to ride on a trail. It's so gorgeous. They have waterfall. Very, very beautiful. It's a very, very peaceful, in nature, beautiful place. Okay, and it's for free. Okay, let me just say that it's for free. Okay. But I think is it Sundays you have to pay? But they even have a farmer's market that comes out there. I love it. Me and my children, we absolutely love going there, right? Except for when it's really, really hot. My youngest children, I remember we went there, they was complaining, oh, it's hot, and because the trail, it could be, you could either do the long trail or you could turn around. I like doing the long trail, okay? Because just in my mind, and that used to be a challenge for me too, because going out there, you see people, okay? Like, you're not there by yourself, you see people. And I remember when I first went out there, I was a little afraid, okay? I was a little afraid, but one of the things that I did was I said, to get out my comfort zone, I know I need to do something different. And so I would go out there, faithfully, religiously, okay? Go out there and challenge myself, walk the trail. First, we started off walking the trail. Then we started renting the bikes, so we could ride the trail. And it was just such an amazing experience with me and my children. my oldest children went, we rode the bikes, got wet, got soaking wet, but we didn't care. We still was on the bikes, okay? And it's just a beautiful setting. It's a beautiful environment. So if you ever get a chance to come to Jersey, I highly, highly recommend you try going to Duke Farms. It is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, absolutely beautiful. They have the landscape, just phenomenal. Is a beautiful place, peaceful place, absolutely amazing. So that was a challenge, But then I started doing it, and this is one of the things that you have to understand and start realizing is this, that everything that you tend to be a little afraid of, a little nervous of, the reason why you're a little afraid is because you don't have enough reps in. And I got that from Aaron Dowdy. Shout out to Aaron Dowdy, who's another YouTuber. But that's why, because you don't have enough reps in. And when you start getting going, right, you will have it's going to build up this confidence, right, whereas though you already know what to expect. And when you get to that point, then you on to the next challenge. You have to understand life is like this, okay? It is an ongoing evolution, right? Just like the plants, okay, is an ongoing evolution. Is and nature, okay. Even goddamn nature understands this. It's either you create or you disintegrate. All right. And that's one of the laws of the universe. It's either you are creating or you're dying. And if you're not creating and if you're not evolving, how could you expect, right? Our mind, we're supposed to be exercising our mind. And how do you exercise your mind? By reading the books, right? It's supposed to be an ongoing thing where as though you keep on educating yourself. But many times since people have graduated from school, they just stop the education process because they say, oh, well, I know all that it is that I need to know. Okay, but it's an ongoing thing. It's for me to stay relevant, honey, I gotta get these books. Okay. And I gotta challenge myself. Because if not, it's like, so for me to tell you guys about the books and then for me to apply the stuff to my life, apply knowledge, really what it is, okay, you could get the books all day long, okay, but if goddamn it, if you ain't reading the books and you ain't applying the books to your life, then honey, let me tell you something, the books are supposed to be an experience. It's not supposed to be, oh, I read 20 books this month. Maybe for starters, if you're not a person that don't read, right, but then it goes from you actually buying a book. Right? It's all about decisions. You put the book in your cart, right? Some successful person comes and you see them or you go to an event and they say, this is what really did it for me. This is what was the moment that changed my life around. And they mention a book. Some people would just listen to the seminar and they just say, wow. They won't even purchase the book. They won't even go to the seminar. And granted, right? Our higher self knows, right? Everything, our higher self. And it'll point us to the direction that we need to go. And, whether it's a book that we need to get or whatever, it'll point us in that direction. But if you're a person that's just like, well, it's just going to come to me, right? Or, because success leaves clues. And so when a successful person say, well, this book I read this book and they could tell you exactly where they were. Like, for instance, I remember listening to Kevin Tredone and I shared this story before. I was walking to go catch the train to go to Target. And I remember listening to Kevin Tredone. I forgot the exact CD or the exact tape, right? And if you guys want to hear the audio, okay, because it's such a phenomenal audio. If you send me a DM on Gmail, I send it to you, the audio, okay, just so you can start moving, so you could start doing different, okay. But I remember I was listening to Kevin Tredone on my way to Target. And I remember the story he had told. And I listened to that chat, well, that CD or whatever, that playlist. I listened to that a few times. So Kevin Tredone, again, he was part of the Brotherhood. He was with the elite. He was a I don't know if it's 33rd degree Mason or 33, I think it's 33rd degree Mason or whatever. And he didn't come from a family of wealth, okay? When he was about 15 years old, I believe, he was pretty much like brought into the Brotherhood. And I remember he had said, when he was in high school, okay, he had took a test. And the test that he had took, I believe it was something pertaining to so he could go to college. And he had to write something or something. Took a test or had to write something. And his guidance counselor had he needed to see his guidance counselor. The guidance counselor wanted to see him. Now, there was other guidance counselors that was meeting with other students, but they door, it was closed because of privacy, right? So Kevin Tredone goes into the guidance counselor office, but the guidance counselor don't close the door. And there's other students that's like, standing there waiting, to see this guidance counselor who could hear exactly what the guidance counselor is telling Kevin Tredone. And so the guidance counselor pretty much says something like, you should never write again. In fact, like basically he did so lousy that Kevin Tredone should just go in the woods and, just pretty much, continue to be a loser. Basically, that's what the guidance counselor said. And Kevin Tredone said after he, when he heard the guidance counselor say that, like he became so angry. The other kids was laughing at him. He said he became so angry, almost wanted to cry. Or maybe he did shed some tears. But I know he said it's something like he almost wanted to cry. He said that day he decided that he was going to get this book called The Magic of Thinking Big. And he said, one second, family. Let me just make sure that's the book name. I believe that is the book name. Yeah, The Magic of Thinking Big. And so, and they have the book right here. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna get this book. One second. All right, so you know what? I'm not the type of reader that like I could be reading like 3 or 4 books at one time. Okay, right now I'm reading The Paradigms. Okay, Do the Work. Then I have The Mystic Path to Cosmic Power. Then I have the Prosperity Bible and Psycho Cybernetics. Okay, I got all either on my bed, on this table right here, or on the floor in my room. Okay. So that's the type of reader I am. Okay, I can hear something, and then like earlier, Bob Proctor was talking about Paradigms, and he was saying about this book, Paradigms by Joel Barker. So I said, oh my goodness, I got that book. Let me go, pick it up. And then I opened it up, and voila, the importance of anticipation. Okay, if you can, and you should shape your own future, because you don't, someone else surely will. Okay, so it's like, success through leaves clues and your intuition, and you are always receiving guidance, but only if you choose to accept the guidance or not, right? And so I remember listening to Kevin Tredone, and he said that day he decided he was gonna get the book, The Magic of Thinking Big. And so he got the book, The Magic of Thinking Big. And he said, everything changed for him. He started going to seminars, and, his life just changed for him. And I remember listening to the audio, and one of the things Kevin Tredone said, he said, his mother would come in his room and say, "Oh my goodness, you listening to this stuff again? Like, you're going to turn into this stuff," right? Because it was personal development. It was, basically about him changing his mindset. And he was like, that was a good thing, his mother telling him that. Long story short, the same guidance counselor who had told him that he should pretty much like go to the woods, or pretty much live off grid because he was such a loser. He said he became so successful. Kevin Tredone became so successful. And he said at that time, he had like a Cadillac or something, but it was like the Cadillac that it was like the newest of the newest, right? Cadillac that time. And he said he never forgot. It was him and his date and one of his friends and his friend date, right? And they went to this restaurant in Massachusetts, okay? And he said he went to the restaurant, but when he pulled into the restaurant, the restaurant, they had valet parking, and, it was like one of those, fancy restaurants. They had the valet parking. And he said, you never would imagine who was parking his car. I love stuff like that. I really love stuff like that, okay? Because it's almost, it was the guidance counselor who he gave his keys to. And he said he just looked at the guidance counselor and just smiled, right? Here he was, this successful, okay, multi-millionaire, okay? And a guidance counselor who told him, basically, that he would never amount to anything. Basically, that he was practically a loser. And he said that was the day his life had changed. He decided to turn his life around by making a decision to get a book. The book, The Magic of Thinking Big. And so, it's so fascinating. And the reason why I say I like stories like that, because, some people, they buy into the system, right? That you have to be, you have to follow what someone else had conditioned you to believe. And that's like, go to school and, do this and be like everybody else, socialism, be like everybody else is and everything like that. But it's something in you that's much greater and much bigger than that. That knows that you wasn't designed to be like everybody else. You wasn't created to be like everybody else. You have superpower within you. And you lose it when you trying to mimic other people and trying to be exactly like them. And so even it was a guidance counselor, a teacher, a parole, probation officer, your mama, your daddy, whoever the hell it was. It feels good to know that, what you said, it was wrong. And what you told me to do, it didn't work. And that's why, it's like certain things that we may have tend to follow. You start seeing that, like, damn, that don't work. I know they said to do X, Y, and Z, but maybe the time is outdated. Like the other day, I was listening to Myron Golden. And one of the things he said was, like he was talking about the industrial revolution and talking about the information age, and and he was telling the story of success, right? Like how success started, and he was like, you need to know how it started, and he was breaking it down, and he was saying, Once upon a time, parents would tell their children, like, you gotta go to school, you gotta get, that the good education, because you could move up in that job. You could become a manager, you could become successful. But what I love so much about life is always revolving, like it's always going. And it's either you evolve with it, or you get lost. You get lost in the source. But it's not going to stop. It's going to keep on evolving. And we have the choice. And right now is such a phenomenal, I say it a lot, it's such a phenomenal time to be alive right now. It's like no excuses. Like the book, Brian Tracy, no excuses. It's really no excuses. Because we have everything literally at our fingertips. If you want to be successful, anybody could be successful. You gotta decide. And you have to believe in yourself. And so when I'm listening to the personal development audios and stuff like that, it's like the universe knew, like, you're gonna be an inspirational speaker, but we're gonna guide you. Like we gonna guide you. We're gonna put the people that did this before you, and we're gonna allow them to assist you. And so when I'm walking or going anywhere, majority of the time I'm listening to personal development. Majority of the times. And whenever I'm challenging myself, it is like having company with the successful people that's letting me know, we all have paradigms, a multitude of habits, but because you are choosing, right? You are choosing to change your paradigm. It's like the universe sets you up each and every time for success. Because you decided to follow your heart. You decided to do something different. So you could receive different. But the choice, is always up to you. No matter how your childhood was, no matter what happened, honey, none of those things matter. Because you got to understand this. If some people had a way worse childhood experience than you, and they successful. And so what's the difference? The difference is a choice. They decided, I will not allow this. What I have experienced, I will not allow this to keep on playing out. I will not allow this. I will not continuously to hurt myself. I will choose to love myself. I will choose to educate myself. I will choose to get the help it is that I need to get. I would choose to meditate, to spend some time by myself. I would choose to go within, to seek within. I would choose to seek for the answer as opposed to focusing on the problem. I would choose to do those things. And you choose. And that's what's going to make you different. We are all different, but that's really what's going to do it for you, in a sense where as though you start receiving something different because you chose. You made a decision. And so I'm going to close off with this again, okay? The importance of anticipation, okay? Paradigms. A multitude of habits, okay? You want to change your paradigm? Okay, what you do on a day in and day out basis. First, you got to become aware. Like, what do you do? And one of the greatest books that talks about that, Dr. Joseph Murphy. Okay, the power of the subconscious mind. Because you have a multitude of habits that you do. And if you're not successful, it's because of the habits that you continuously do. And so you got to start doing something different. So I'm going to close with this. Okay. You can and should shape your own future. Okay. You can and you should shape your own future. Because if you don't, someone else surely will. So if you don't shape your own future, someone surely will be shaping it for you. Telling you what to do, how to do it, how much money you can earn, the cap on it. But so what's so dope about the universe is, it's full of abundance, full of abundance. There's no cap. There's no cap. How much money you want to earn and make, there's no cap. You can earn it, you can make it. There's no cap. And that's really the beautiful thing about life. Really, really so beautiful and so magical. And so with that being said, make sure you guys are rocking out. Okay. It's so funny because at times when I'm doing a video, right, I'm like, I'm just going to talk about this. And then this thing jump to this thing. And then before I know, it's like an hour. Okay. All right. So I'm about to read. Okay. One of the things I highly, highly recommend you guys do, go get you a notebook, write down the life that you desire to live. You can write down where you currently are right now, and then write down the life that you desire to live. Okay. You don't need to know how it's going to manifest itself out. Okay. It'll manifest the way it always do. Okay. But if you write it down, what that tends to do is stimulate your imagination, right? Your energy and everything, it starts going up because it's like you tap into creativity, right? And so once you start doing it and understanding that, and it's so funny because so many people, they don't even know what they want. And if you don't know what you want, in the words of Zig Ziglar, right? Like, how you gonna hit a target you can't see? You can't hit a target that you can't see or that you don't have. So you could go to the dollar store. I done said this multiple times, okay, doing these live videos. You could go to the dollar store. You could get a notebook from there. You could order the book from Amazon. I mean, it really doesn't matter. But the thing about this is, when you start taking steps, right, the next step will be revealed to you. It's like that. It's really like the faith system. You take one step and you like, you know what, I'm just going to get the damn notebook. I'm just going to get the goddamn notebook. Okay. And then after you take that step, then you write your goals down. And then after that, next minute, you're like, oh my goodness, right? Stuff start coming to you because you start tapping into creativity. Like the book says here, Do the Work by Steven Pressfield. Okay. It says the universe is also actively benevolent. You should be feeling this now. You should be feeling a tailwind. The opposite of resistance is assistance. A work in progress generates its own energy field. Okay. You, the artist or entrepreneur, are pouring love into the work. You are suffusing it with passion and intention and hope. This is serious juju. The universe responds to this. It has no choice. Your work in progress produces its own gravity. Oh, goodness. Gravitational, honey. Gravitational field created by your will and your attention. This field attracts like spirit entities into its orbit. What entities? Okay. You started with a few scraps of a song. Now you've got half an opera. So every step of the way, right? Every step of the way. Remember what I said earlier? The headphones broke. Okay. My youngest son headphones, I was rocking out to him, okay? And the headphones broke. And I knew I needed to make some content videos today, right? But the headphones broke. And I remember yesterday doing the mastermind class, okay, and reading a book that Brian Tracy said, get a notebook, get a new notebook, get a spiral notebook. So it was like, okay, I gotta go to Dollar Tree to go get some headphones. All right. I gotta get this notebook too. And so I went to Dollar Tree, and on my way to Dollar Tree, ideas just start popping in. The videos I created that I uploaded before this video, those ideas came from me making a decision and saying, it was, and this is another thing, okay, about the universe. When the headphones broke, right, every time the universe is always working in your favor. You may not be able to see that, but it's always working in your favor. When the headphones broke, I said, God damn, but like how these damn headphones broke? I couldn't even understand how the damn headphones broke. Okay. Because these not the wireless ones, these with the wires. So I said, how the hell they break? I couldn't understand it. And so I had the choice of getting really angry, right? Because I tell you guys, like when I'm walking, sometimes I have my headphones on, okay? And I'm listening to personal development. And so as I'm walking, and I got downstairs, the headphones is, and I'm walking my children to school. And so what I did was I said, I could just play the personal development and, so I just got in the zone. I just stayed focused. Okay. Then I dropped my children off. And then I came back home. I meditated. And in my meditation session, it's been times where as though I misplaced my headphones or whatever. And I meditate and then I get to download like exactly where the damn headphones, where I put them at. It happens. Okay. I guarantee you it happens. It's been a time where as though I did that and the headphones, it was one headphone that was up under the radio. And I said, what the hell? Meditated and I got the exact location. And I said, but I looked over there and it was there. Okay. So it works. Right. And so when a book is saying, okay, you started with a few scraps of a song. What this is merely saying is you don't need to know all the steps. When I started doing videos on here, well, yeah, I first started on here, then Facebook, but I didn't know. I just got to download, make videos, make content, help people get out the matrix. I did not know what that meant. And at times I would say, did I really hear that? But goddamn, it was nobody else. I mean, my oldest son, I don't even know if he was in the living room with me. I know he was in the living room with me when I first made that first video. And honey, let me tell you something. I was terrified, okay? But I still did it. I still showed up. I still did the video. I was speaking very low because I was nervous, okay? It was something I never done before, right? But I still did it. I still showed up and then I continuously did it. And then the ideas started flowing from me getting started and from me trusting the process and having faith. You will be guided as long as you trust the process. You will be guided on the content that you need to put out, the video that you may need to do for today or whatever. It will be shown to you, whether it's from a book, whether it's from a song, whether it's from, and these is the places sometimes that it comes from. I get majority of the titles that I get from my videos is either from a book, or personal development that I'm listening to. It's like a part that stands out to me the most. And like my intuition is say, that part right there. And every time I do it, every time I do it. And it could be something so simple. It could be a word and it's just so simple. And this is the power that you have. This power is available to all of us. It's available to all of us, and that is the phenomenal thing about life. It's available. It's not only available to a select few. It's available to all of us. Okay. So let me finish. You started with a few scraps of a song. Now you've got half an opera. You begin with the crazy notion to restore a neglected park, right? You got an idea to restore a park, right? And now the lot is cleared, okay? Now volunteers just pop up. You probably like, damn, I want to restore this park, but you know how I'm gonna do this by myself. And then you just like, you know what? Well, I'm gonna just start it. I'm gonna just restore the park. And then people, when I say people will come to you, I remember I was listening to this audio. I was driving to Whole Foods, and it's these two guys who have a podcast. I don't remember their names, but I was listening to this audio, and one of the things that they were saying was they was talking about like the universe, and when you get a download to do something. And one of the guys said, he said, yeah, because the universe give you a download to write a book, and your ego, it is say, don't write that book. Nobody is gonna buy it. And the guy who was giving the analysis, he said, but if you got that download for you to write the book, don't get caught up on who's gonna buy it. Just write the book, because there's a reason why your intuition is telling you to write that book. Like the time when I wrote Juiced Up, right? I didn't know. I had a download for me to write a book, right? And I meditated on it, and the title came Juiced Up. And I went online because I said, sometimes when you hear this stuff, right, your intuition, because we've been programmed not to listen to our intuition, not to trust it and stuff like that. So sometimes it's like you probably a second guesser, or you'll be like, what's that? What I heard, right? So when I had got the download for the title to be Juiced Up, I said Juiced Up. So I went online and to see exactly what the hell it meant, right? And it meant something spiritual, like growth or something. And I was like, all right, now I know the universe. I know my intuition told me this, right? I had no goddamn clue on who was gonna publish the book. I didn't have only thing I had was juice recipes. And you know how I came up with those juice recipes? Dr. Sebi. I had his nutritional guide. Let me see if I still got it. 1 second. Now, this nutritional guide, honey, this nutritional guide is old, okay? Wait, let me see. One second, family. Okay, I'm gonna just turn it around. So I use this, okay? This was Dr. Sebi's nutritional guide, okay? These are the foods and herbs and things of that nature which keeps the body at a alkaline state, okay? And so when I came up with the juice recipes, it was some juice recipes in there that wasn't alkaline, but this was where I got the idea from, right? So we got the vegetables here, the vegetables that you should be eating. Okay, well, arugula, avocado, bell peppers, chayote, Mexican squash, cucumbers, dandelion greens, garbanzo beans, cactus, flower, kale, lettuce, all except iceberg, mushrooms, all except shiitake, Mexican cactus, okra, olives, sea vegetables, dose. This is actually like a seasoning. Squash, tomato, cherry, and plum only. I don't know what this is. I think this is the green tomatoes. Turnip greens, zucchini, watercress. Watercress is really, really good. Really good. In this. Okay. Then we have the fruits, apples, bananas, berries, cantaloupe, cherries, um, currants, I think, dates, figs, grape seeded, limes, key lime preferred with seeds, mangoes, melon seeded, orange, sour, Neville or sour preferred, pop. I always say pop is papaya. I be saying papaya. I be saying papaya, right? Is papaya, peaches, pears, plums, prunes, raisins, soft jelly coconut, sour sap, tamarins. Tamarins is really good, especially if you want to make like a sweet drink or something like that. And then the all natural herbal teas, burdock, chamomile, elderberry, fennel, ginger, raspberry teal. Then it's this pretty much the grains, okay? Um, what is this? Kuma or whatever. Kiwan, spelt, well rice, ra, amaranth, teff, fonyo, fon. No, I have this in a cabinet too. Is a cereal. Nuts and seeds includes nuts and seeds and seed butter, hemp seeds, raw sesame seeds, tahini butter, walnuts, Brazil nuts. Then we have the oils that you should be cooking with, and olive oil. You're not supposed to cook with it. Okay. Coconut oil, grapeseed oil, sesame oil, and things of that nature. So this is pretty much where the ideas came from, right? So when I say, and where did this come from? This came from studying. When I say, like, I'm always looking for ways to like improve myself. I'm always looking for ways to improve myself, whether it's nutrition, whatever it is. Like, I tap into the stuff. Like, I get the books. I actually read the books. Like, I get the books. I read the books. I apply the stuff. Okay. Like with the herbal teas, like, I don't just read it. For me, the most fun experience is me actually experimenting. That's the fun experience for me, because when I experiment, I tap into my creativity. I tap into my inner child. I tap into my imagination. Okay, and that's how you create. And so, yeah. With that being said, I love you guys. Keep rocking out. Keep believing in yourself. Understand that it's all gonna come to you, but you got to get started. And from one idea, it'll turn into a plethora of ideas. But you gotta follow up on that one idea, right? Your intuition tell you that one thing. Ultimately, one of the things Kevin Tredone says, he says all successful people, all of them, they take advice, but ultimately they listen to themselves, right? Meaning they listen to their intuition. They listen to their gut feeling of you know, this sounds true. This may have some truth in it. And then they follow up with how they feel about whatever it is that is being presented to them. And so, yeah. With that being said, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.